Recording in progress.
Alright, welcome back everyone. This is our core stability and posture class. So we'll be quite a bit on the floor. Just doing a lot of core, planks, stuff that stabilizes our trunk. And then outside of that, we'll be doing some stuff on the chair just to work on our back, make sure that our shoulders are rounding out, possibly being up against the wall as well to have nice straight posture. So yeah, let's go ahead and get a nice warm up. So let me go ahead and do these barefoot right now. So again, we'll start with the workout, with the warm up, left to right. There's some of you that you're just joining us for the first time today, and there's some of you that were with me in the last hour. So this could be a little cool down warm up for some of you. Up and down. Neck circles. Switch. Let's reach up towards the ceiling. Let's lean right. Let's go left. Right, trunk rotation, so left to right. Let's do ab circles, so hinge at the hip, come across, pump. Alright, big hula hoops. So just big hip circles. Round and round. Switch. Let's do our quad stretch. So grab a hold of right above your ankle. You could hold on to a chair. If you could hover your hand over a counter. If you don't feel comfortable in this position. Again, this is working on your quad and a little bit of balance work here. go ahead and switch. Alright, let's do our hip opener. So drive your knee forward, to the side and in. It's a little bit of balance going on in here. Drive that hip, knee forward, out, and back. Let's switch. And then let's do our hamstring stretch. So slide your hands down your hands. Slide your hands down your legs, not your hands. So drop down and up. All right, very good. Okay, so if you like, you could actually start off by setting up your yoga mat, okay? So let's set up your yoga mat. Give you about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to do that. Keep it going. So if you have that ready to go, give you another 30 seconds. Have your water nearby. Okay. All right. So, I'm gonna go ahead and go to start off. We're doing a lot of stuff on the floor. Let me angle this camera a little bit lower. Okay. So our first movement is gonna be a plank to bear crawl position. So plank's here, and then bear crawl's right here. Okay, so you're just gonna go back and forth from here to here, okay? And if that's too much, what you could do is just go from here to a high plank and then back, okay? We're gonna do that for 40 seconds. Then we have dead bug with wall isometric. So on this one, if you happen to have a wall near you, you're gonna push with your hands behind you and drop one heel at a time as you're doing that. Okay. After that, we're gonna do a forearm plank with an arm reach. So plank, reach, and then we're gonna do an extended hollow hold. That's gonna be here, arms up, legs are pedaling up and down. And then after that, we do a seated V-sit here with arms going in a circle. If you're a little bit more advanced, you could elevate your heels and do that, okay? So that's gonna be our 5 movements, and we'll take about 2 minutes rest in between each cycle, okay? Alrighty, so we'll start off with that plank to bear crawl transition. Alright, so again, we're gonna go for 40 to 45 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go from here to here. And then back. And remember, if you don't want to go on your elbows and your hands, you could just go into a high plank. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Whew. That one will work you. All right, we have dead bugs with our wall isometric. So if you don't have the wall behind you, what you're gonna do is opposite arm, opposite leg are gonna alternate, okay? But if you do have that wall behind you, I want you to press with your hands into them, okay? So you're pushing and then legs go up and down. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. Keep going. 15 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Okay. Next we have a plank forearm plank. So here, and then you could lift one arm and then just alternate. Okay, so we're just alternating. If you really are having good balance, you're feeling good, you could extend that arm a little bit further. Okay, all right, here we go. We'll start in 3, 2, 1, and up. So 45 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Time. All right, so now we are on our backs. Shoulders are elevated. Okay, shoulders are elevated. You can have your arm extended and then flutter your legs up and down. If they get tired, drop them for a second. Once you're recovered, continue. All right, 3, 2, 1, and go. So you can just continue to pedal. 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Whew. And then now we have our V-sit. So we're here, recline back, and just your arms in a circle, or you could do each arm individually. As long as those arms are moving and you're reclined back, and if you're feeling good, you could elevate those heels off the ground. Okay? 3, 2, 1, go. Halfway there. Ten more seconds. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Good work. 2 minutes rest. Okay, I'm gonna go over the next ones. So we have our side plank next with our knee drive. Okay, so knee drive, then the other side. Then we're doing plank rolls, which is an elbow plank, rolling on your hips side to side. Okay, then we have a high plank with the side step out. So that's gonna be when you're here and you step out to the side and then just go back and forth. And then we have side plank hip dips. So we're on our side planks and dipping our hips down and up. Okay? All right, about a extra minute of recovery and we'll get started on that. So grab some water, do that. All right. Okay. Our time is up, so we're going in with those side planks with our knee drive, okay? So on your side, remember we're here, and drive that knee up and down. 3, 2, 1, and up. So we're here. Okay, and if you have to drop your knee, that's fine. So this lower knee is dropped, and you're still driving that opposite knee up and down. Yeah, that actually feels better on my back, so I'm gonna just do the knee to elbow plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. We're gonna switch sides. All right, ready and go. So again, just drive that knee up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. What's next? Plank rolls. Okay, so remember plank rolls, just a regular plank, but now we're rolling our hips side to side. Alright? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So drop your hips side to side. Oh. 15 more seconds. Three, 2, 1, time. Whew. What's next? We have our high plank step outs. Remember this one to plank, but with your hands and your feet. Step, come back, step, come back. Alrighty? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So step, back. Keep going. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, and then now we have side plank hip drop. So we are here on our side. You could have this top leg bent and supporting as well, and then just drop your hips up and down. Okay? Alright, and this one's for repetition, so I want you to do 20 dips on each side. Okay? Ready? And go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep counting. 10. 20. Alright, we're gonna switch. Alright, we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, that's set number 2. I believe. Oh. Yep, set number 2. So, oh, still sweating. If it was up to me, I'd have like 3 or 4 showers today. Alrighty, so next one is going to be bird dog oblique crunch. That's when we're here on our floors. We're going to go opposite hand, opposite leg, and then elbow to knee and extend. Okay, we're going to be doing 16 of those on each side. Then we're going to do Supermans on our prone position, belly down. Then we have glute bridges, which is going to work out our hammies and our glutes. We'll do those in that sit-up position. And then we have reverse planks. Okay, so we're sitting, legs extended, and we push up. Okay, so I have about 45 seconds. So grab some water. Do what you have to do. Oh, don't mind that. All right, let's get ready. Back on the floor. All right, so bird dogs. Remember, we're doing 16 of each. Okay, ready? We're here, and let's begin. So extend, elbow to knee, and repeat. So bring that right elbow to your left knee and continue. Got 16. And 16. Alright, once you're ready, let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Alright, once you've done your 16, we're going to go belly down. Okay, so belly down, and this is going to be for time, so 45 seconds. This is your chest up, legs up, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1, and up. Ten more seconds. Keep it going. And time. Whew. All right, so this next one's a single leg glute bridge. All right, so for these, if you remember, we are laying in the sit-up position. I'm gonna have these paired up. So get in the sit-up position. All right, we're here, and what we want to do is elevate one leg and come up and then down. Okay, so up and down. All right, we're doing 10 on each of those. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. So up, down, up, down. Really squeeze your glutes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, then we're gonna switch. Okay. Left leg is up and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright. Did those, did both legs. Alright, and then now it's gonna be our reverse plank. Okay? So our reverse plank, you're in this position, legs are extended. You're gonna use your hands to support yourself, and you're just supporting yourself from your heels to your arms, okay? If you're able to do that and a little more, what you could do is a slight knee drive. So you could come up this way and then just alternate, okay? You don't have to come all the way up. It could just be right here, okay? We just wanna stay or support ourselves with one foot at a time. Or you could even just lift up and down. That's gonna make your hip flexors work a little bit more, okay? All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Fifteen more seconds. Three, 2, 1, time. Whew. All right. That was our third set right there. Okay. And our last one's a little bit more relaxed. It's not as intense as most of these exercises were. So first we're gonna go prone I. So this is with your feet resting, your palms are facing up. Okay, you could rest your head and then you're just gonna come up with your palms up. Okay, so slight arch on the back with those. Okay, that one we're gonna do for 40 seconds. And then we're gonna go ahead and do inverse swimmers, which is we're here and we're gonna lift opposite hand with opposite foot. Okay, we'll do that and then so forth. Quadruped push-ups, which that should feel funky on my back. And then we'll do our W's and our W's here and then our Y's, okay? So, all right, 4 more and then we are good for today. Ready? So extend your arms in front of you. Palms are up. 3, 2, 1, and up. 40 seconds. Ten more seconds. Three, 2, 1, time. Very good. All right, now we have our inverse swimmers. So this is where we are extended and we lift our left leg with our right arm and then switch left arm to right leg. All right, and this one's also for time. 3, 2, 1, go. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, time. All right, 2 more. We're gonna get in our quadruped position here. Wrists right below your shoulders, knees right below your hips. We're gonna kind of just extend our elbows and then relax. Extend, relax. All right, we're doing 15 of those. Ready, and begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. All right. And our last one is our W to Ys. Okay, so it's just like a lat pull down, but we're going from here to up and then down. Okay, so from this angle, we're here tucked in, out, and down. So we're doing that motion while we are belly down. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So you're here. We're doing 12. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, from here, let's get a little stretch. So just rest on your elbows. We'll start cooling it down right now. Good work. How are you feeling? A little sore?
Great.
Good. My back feels a little better, so hopefully continues to. Now let's go ahead and put our hands where our elbows were and push up. Let's bring our glutes to our heels. Drop your elbows. Very good. Stretch out the legs a little bit. If you were with me in the last class, we did quite a bit of legs, but worked out the torso a lot right now. I have to go switch out my shirt, so I'm sweating. So let's bring out that leg over here and then lean forward, support yourself. Come up, rotate, and lean towards it. One back, reset. Extend that left leg. Lean down. Torso's upright. Turn to your side and lean towards that leg. Come up and reset. All right, folks. Thank you for joining today. Not feeling the best, but I think I was able to give it my best considering how I'm feeling. So appreciate you all joining. And then yeah, I'll ask again tomorrow for the other folks that join us on Tuesdays. What we want to do for Saturday, but yeah, we're looking at 7 or 8 a.m. But as you folks know, it's getting a little bit warmer now, so yeah, it sounds a little bit wiser to go earlier, but I also want as much folks to attend, so yeah, we'll see what we could do. So and then can you give me like a thumbs up emoji for the folks that are in here if you're planning on going this Saturday for the walk? So if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be awesome. Right now you can do that. All right, Teresa, you got one. All right, Teresa and Wayne, hopefully. So, Safina?
Yes, Wayne, awesome.
All right. So, yeah, so hopefully, yeah, we have some folks there, and Carmen, Jan, you guys live down the street. So, but yeah, I'll see everyone tomorrow, and then look out for the email. Okay. All right, everyone, have a good day. Hydrate. Gracias. Take care. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.